All right. Call the June 9th, right, Planning and Zoning Commission to order. If you could please stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance with me. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Yes, we do have some members missing. We do have 4 members here today, so there is a quorum for the meeting. And we do have a new member here with us tonight. I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Keith Hall. He was appointed to Planning and Zoning Commission at the board meeting, a couple of weeks ago. And we have an oath of office to administer for him. So we thank you for coming. Please raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, Keith Hall.
I, Keith Hall.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I possess.
That I possess.
All of the qualifications.
All the qualifications.
Of the Office of Planning Commissioner.
Of Office of Planning Commissioner.
And of the State of Missouri.
In the State of Missouri.
And provisions of all laws of this state.
And provisions of all laws of this state.
Affecting cities of this class.
Affecting cities of this class.
And the ordinances of the City of Kearney, Missouri.
And the ordinances of the City of Kearney, Missouri.
Faithfully demean myself in office.
I faithfully demean myself in office.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you.
Excellent. All right, consent agenda.
Yeah, we got the minutes of the May 12th meeting in your packets.
Any discussion, questions, concerns about the meetings? I would entertain a motion.
So moved. Move we approve the minutes from the May 12th meeting.
I'll second. Great. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. New business. Cottonwood Creek 5th plat rezone to RP1 with concept plan and preliminary plat amendment.
Yeah, I'll give some staff comments. I want to move the map to an exhibit to show the project. You can see that on the screen. Okay, so Deer Valley, represented by Craig Porter here tonight, and Tim Tucker with Phelps Engineering is a consultant, proposes a rezone 7.405 acres at the northwest quadrant of Nation Road and 92 Highway from C General Commercial District to RP1, Low Density Residential Plan District with concept plan, proposing 22 single-family lots and 2 open space tracts. And those open space tracts would be along the frontage of the streets to the north and Nation Road and to 92 Highway to the south. P district designation is proposed because lots do not meet the minimum 75-foot wide lot width requirement in the R1 district, and 8 of the lots don't meet the minimum lot area requirement of 8,250 square feet in the R1 district. Proposed lots are between 6,937 square feet and 12,812 square feet in area for an average of 9,007 square feet, which is above the average. The overall zoning, 22 units in approximately 7.5 acres does comply with our R1 zoning. That's the purpose, kind of the purpose of the P district is if you have lot dimensions, as long as you meet the density, it helps you with the design of your project. The proposed density is 3 dwelling units per acre. The R1 district allows up to 5 dwelling units per acre. The applicant's engineer noted that 12 lots are proposed at 50 feet wide and 10 lots are proposed at 60 feet wide. It looks to me like they measure out, the 50-foot lots would be about 54 feet wide and the 60-foot wide lots measure about 61 feet wide. The 50 plus feet lots are on the west side of the road. The 61-foot wide lots are on the east side of the proposed road. Although they are narrower than 75 feet wide, they are deeper. So the proposed lots on the west side of their street are between 15 and 35 feet deeper than the 110-foot minimum in the R1 zone. The lots on the east side are quite a bit deeper than that. The earlier phase of Cottonwood Creek was also zoned RP1 46 of the original 100 lots in Cottonwood Creek were between 65 and 74 feet wide. That's been several years. I think 2017 was when the original preliminary plat was approved. Streets. The street extends 620 feet south from Cottonwood Creek Avenue. Approvals by the P&Z is required if a street extends more than 500 feet in a cul-de-sac. The reason for that is we have existing lots over to the west. There's 92 Highway to the south, and then Nation Road along the east side. If another street connection was made, there could be an issue with the proximity to the roundabout location. So that's why it's proposed at 620 feet. Also, fire code requires a second entrance for more than 30 dwelling units or 30 lots. This has 22, so it's less than a fire code. Less than what fire code would require, when a fire code would require a second entrance. They show an 8-foot wide sidewalk along Nation Road that'd be extended south. We have existing 8-foot sidewalk along a portion of Westwood subdivision, and then also the other phases of Cottonwood Creek. This will get extended south on Nation Road and then westward along 92 Highway. They do show the sidewalk on the private open space tract. So if it's to stay there, if it doesn't move into a right-of-way area, if it stays on a private open space tract, then we'll need to have an easement included as part of the final plat so that the general public can access it, address maintenance, and then make additional street connections to other parts of town. They show a landscape buffer along Nation Road and along 92 Highway. It's a 30-foot landscape buffer. Subdivision regulations require be landscaped with trees and shrubs, and that a landscape plan will be included as part of the final plat and the public improvement plans. So showing a 30-foot buffer appears compliant with subregs. It's when we get to the future portion of the project with the platting and the public improvements that we'll see what the plan is for that. Project is proposed as part of the Cottonwood Creek subdivision so that the existing homeowners association and existing subdivision covenants and restrictions would apply to this area also. The 9 units in the Cottonwood Creek, the cottages of Cottonwood Creek that was approved a couple of months ago, that was its own separate area. These are traditional single-family lots, dimensions a little different, so the proposal is to add this into the existing subdivision. This area is part of the Public Water Supply District number 6 area, so the rural water district, and there's a requirement that the city collect a fee on top of the building permit that then gets passed on to the water district. The same thing has happened with Oakwood Estates subdivision. Stallings Ranch down to the south falls into this situation as well. And Timber Creek, if you know the Timber Creek, down off of 19th Street was also part of that District 6 area. Staff recommends approval of the proposed rezoning to RP1 Low Density Residential Plan District with concept plan for Cottonwood Creek 5th plat with the following conditions. 1, the RP1 plan is approved as presented, including the following: 22 single-family lots with common open space tracts, cul-de-sac street with a length of 620 feet to the back of curb is approved as part of the plan. Additional revisions if required by planning and zoning. The landscape plan for the Nation Road 92 Highway landscape buffer be submitted as part of the public improvement plans and final plat. Sidewalk easement for any public sidewalks located on Tract A be included at those future times. City engineer approval of preliminary plat revisions and any changes, modifications, or alterations required by the same to the final plat revisions. That was a recent city attorney request to include the minor changes that might occur in the drawing. And 5, develop the project in compliance with all city codes, conditions, requirements, plans, and payment of fees and taxes. And there's a sample motion included in your packet. And then this is also a preliminary plat amendment, so there'll be 2 motions. So staff also recommends approval of the Cottonwood Creek preliminary plat amendment to include the Cottonwood Creek 5th plat area with the following conditions. Additional revisions if required by planning and zoning. City engineer approval of preliminary plat revisions and any changes, modifications, or alterations required by the same to the final plat revisions. Preliminary plat. Develop the project in compliance with all city codes, conditions, requirements, plans, and payment of fees and taxes. There's a sample motion for that in the packet. And the rezoning is a public hearing, so you want to open the floor for public comment. The rezoning will be forwarded to the Board of Aldermen. There's a hearing scheduled there next week. And then the preliminary plat is only a planning and zoning review. And so that approval stays with the Planning and Zoning Commission, does not get forwarded to Board of Aldermen. Although the P concept plan looks just like a preliminary plat, so they'll know what that preliminary plat included. Like I said earlier, Craig Porter's in the audience. If the board has questions, Tim Tucker is the engineer for this project.
Great, thank you. All right, we'll open the floor to the public hearing if anyone wants to speak. I'm sure there's a sign-in sheet. Do your
Yes, if you could state your name and address, or write them on the sign-in sheet.
Come on.
I'm not sure if I'm at the right time in all this process or not. My name's Larry Bingley. I have property that butts up against this new thing. I'm on Cottonwood Creek Avenue. My concern is about the drainage, on how this is going to work coming into my property and the new property that's going to be there. We have an erosion problem already, and I just need to know what their design is going to be to do that. I couldn't tell from the map if the new property and my property are going to be right together or there's going to be an easement between it. And thus, I have a backyard fence. Does that mean the new property can build right into my fence, or is there going to be something in between?
We need you to state your full address.
Oh, okay. 1707 Cottonwood Creek Avenue here in Kearney.
Thanks.
You said to write this down?
Yep.
Yeah, if you don't mind, signing your name and address.
Okay, I don't have the answers
We
to
can,
your
we can
questions.
ask the
Yeah.
applicant or the engineer to address those
Yes.
questions.
And then I can come back if I have more questions, or?
Right? Follow up?
Well, public hearing might be closed, so it might be best if you know what your questions are.
Okay, so they won't be answered right now then?
Well, I guess we can answer them now, but if there are other people that want to speak, they might want
Okay.
to speak and then address
Answer
all
all
the
at
questions
once.
together.
Yeah,
All right, thank you.
yeah.
Don't close the public hearing.
Yeah, I'll just wait.
My name's Dalton Owen, 1705 Cottonwood Creek Avenue. My property also butts up against the proposed new homes. And just want to reiterate the water runoff. I've got several videos after it rains. There's a natural creek that has formed right behind our fence, and it's already eroding into our yard. Also, Kate and A are here, but they're 2 houses down from us. I've also got a video of their backyard pretty much completely flooding. So there's already a water issue there. So we're just concerned when you bring in 22 more houses, where's that water gonna go? On top of that, I can point it out, there's already a natural pond forming behind our house. So another thing I'm concerned about is how are they gonna make that, I guess, sturdy enough to put another home on top for a new homeowner that's coming in. I'm in the insurance business, and that could lead to a lot of claims for some homeowners policies. So do you want me to point out where the pond is already coming out? But I'm sure the Porters already know where the pond's coming out because it's pretty obvious. So
That's my guess.
it's just the water. I think that's a lot of people in the neighborhood are just concerned about our yards getting flooded. So. That's it.
Yeah, I'll let them answer questions, and then if you guys have follow-up after that, I won't close the public hearing
Okay.
right away, so,
Thank you.
yeah. Anybody else before the?
Anybody else? Tim, would you mind, you think you could try and answer those questions?
Probably not new to hearing stormwater concern runoff. Probably the most common thing we get.
My name's Tim Tucker, Tucker with Phelps Engineering, address 1270 North Winchester, Olathe, Kansas. So to answer his questions on the swale along the rear and the property line and the fence. So the rear of our proposed lots there on the west side of the cul-de-sac will butt up and they'll have a common rear property line. We are proposing, there's a small berm that will run right down the property line. But basically their water is gonna stay on their side and our water is gonna stay on ours. And then ours gets directed to the south through a swale and then goes into the detention basin down there. As far as the ponding, I'm not sure is that on your property or across the fence?
Yeah, it's across the fence,
Okay.
but I mean, it's.
So we'll totally regrade that site and everything will be minimum 2% grade, which is minimum grading required. So we'll take care of that with the site development. And there'll be an easement up and down that property line. Actually, there's not an easement up and down that property line. Maybe utility, no, I think our utilities are all front. So there is no easement and there is no track, so. Yeah, common rear property lines.
Okay. Thank you. Do you guys have any follow-up questions to that?
Just the eroding that's already happening on our property. We've only been there 2 years and it's already starting to eat. Our grass is starting to go into the natural ditch. And then just a couple houses down where all the water's forming there. It's only 2 years ago. And if that happened to our homes, is it gonna happen to somebody else's homes or is it gonna get worse?
Yeah, we're not gonna contribute to their issue that they have because our water is gonna be on the other side of the berm. So we'll treat our water.
And, I mean, let's say the pond is on,
Pond's on our side.
on your side. I mean, I assume the goal with the grading is to get it to go down to that retention pond for
Yes.
stormwater.
Yeah, it will, all those lots will drain to the rear. And then we've got a swale on our side of the property line that will convey water to the south and into that detention basin, which is a dry detention basin.
There's a pond there we blame Shipley for, because he doesn't know how to grade anything, right?
That's probably the case. But we'll fix it all.
He's not here, so we can blame him for it.
Guy's not here, he's on vacation, but that's the guy we blame.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
That's what he gets for not being here.
The water, it's coming from Nation Road down the land, it's not
Yeah,
coming from the north side or the,
Videos
I
and
know the visual as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of water.
It's a lot.
so theoretically, putting
It's coming out.
the houses down in the berm will
So
actually
like
help
right
that
in the new
situation because the
subdivision
water
where
will
they're,
hit that berm and go down to the
bringing it
detention pond.
in, like a new subdivision, it's just going down.
Okay, so you, if you want to talk, have to come and
Okay,
sign
that's
in.
I can show
So
you
one
the
person
videos.
at a time. Can you just answer, is it coming, where direction is the water coming from?
The big, sorry, go ahead.
So the water is, the high point, Nation Road is approximately 20 to 25 feet higher than the existing low point on the east. With development, we'll actually we'll reduce the runoff going to that swale because of the road. The road will capture everything on the east side, be captured in the street and storm sewer system. The houses on the west side, from basically their front build line, 25 feet back, most all that will drain out to the street. So all you're gonna get is the back half of the house and the side yards draining to the back. So it'll actually reduce the drainage going through there, plus it'll be maintained on our side of the property.
If this is approved, is there a start time? And would you do anything about the erosion that's going on now before that? Or are we just stuck with what's happening?
Well, I think your property is on that's probably your HOA. I mean, that would probably be separate from,
All this runoff is coming from this new project. All the erosions.
That's not a new project, that's a vacant lot.
yeah.
It's a
But it's
vacant
going to
lot.
be a new project,
And
right?
when the
Well, or
new
they could leave it
project is
vacant
in,
and you would still
like the
have an
engineer
issue to
said,
deal
we'll
with.
catch probably 80% of the stormwater will end up in the street and in the basin down there, which will eventually be let out under 92 highway and go into the creek that goes all the way down Nation Road and goes under 19th Street.
What about the existing water that's in our properties right now?
Well, right now it's just a vacant lot, so it could just stay
Or the
vacant.
hard rock?
Yeah,
Like,
that I don't know, and that's probably not covered under this part for this public hearing. I don't know if, David, if there's something who they
Well, I would say
should
they
talk
could,
to.
maybe talk to the city engineer to come have a look and see if we can figure out where that is, if there's an issue.
Yeah, I mean,
Is it on your property or is it like
Oh, it's on
outside
the
the
property.
fence?
it's on their property, and the erosion is happening on our property too. It's coming out from underneath our fences, so, and it's caused by the water.
The water from the east coming this way?
Yeah, from the proposed project,
Okay.
the new proposed project.
From
Yeah, and
the
I think
vacant- vacant land.
what the engineer was saying is, so this is the entire property
Yeah,
with this new road being installed. Water from here that drains this direction will be captured in the street curb and get into the curb inlets and be carried down to the detention basin. He said the front yards of these houses will likely drain toward the street, and that will also happen. So the drainage area, if this is the drainage area that's headed toward your houses, that will actually, it will reduce the area of drainage that will head to you after the project is constructed.
I understand that, but where's the backyard's gonna drain to? You said a berm? Are you,
Yeah, do you want to explain that, Tim? I'll
Yeah,
try and zoom in a little bit.
might be able to see it with the contours there. Basically right down that rear property line.
yeah, the black line, yeah.
And so they show the swale a little bit, they're showing the swale on their side of the property line.
Correct. And the berm running down the property line, and then we'd have a swale on our side, and their water would stay on their side.
Are you saying there's gonna be a berm, but they're also gonna be able to put fences right up to our back fence?
Yes,
Where's the berm gonna be?
on our side.
So in the new people's backyards?
It's built over a berm.
And it disappears. Could you walk up there maybe?
and how tall is the berm? Or ask the question?
It's like a 1 foot berm.
Yeah, it's not very big, I mean,
The
it's
depth
very
of the
small.
water isn't,
Yeah,
I doubt it's a foot.
well, I can see your picture, they're picturing their 4-foot
So
fence
right
and
here
a,
is a berm.
yeah,
They come down right on our side of the property. Right next to it's a swale. So this water from here draining to there will get captured in this swale, stay on our side of the property, and go down to the detention basin. Your water over here and your erosion over here is above this. This water isn't contributing to that, should not be contributing to that erosion. And we don't have the right to go on your property either, nor do we want to go on your property. We're gonna stay behind your fence. And these people have the same right to fence back to your fence. And I don't know, does that answer the question?
We're just having a hard time following you whenever you say the fences can come together, but the berm is on their side, so
we're talking about like a little 1 foot, like,
So it's just gonna be like and then at the very end go up.
There's as much of a cut on our side as there is a berm, but it will keep, your low flows will stay on your side and ours will stay on our side.
But yes, those property owners will be allowed to build fence all the way up to the end of their property line. If the end of their property line touches your property line, then, no, they can't tie into your fence without asking you. They shouldn't as a polite neighbor, but,
This will be brought into the HOA, existing HOA, and the fences are talked about in the covenants restrictions.
there you go.
Part of our erosion problem is that when the property got mowed last year, the 30-foot next to our property, it got scalped. And then the erosion all started, and maybe it was going on before that, but once it got scalped, we noticed it so much.
Yeah,
So
and
yes, the water is coming from that side. Not even.
Right now, because it's vacant and flat, but they're going to probably fix a lot of your
it'll be,
future
I
problems.
agree with how long that might be. I mean, it's just getting worse and worse. Pretty soon our fence is gonna fall over because it's at our fence post.
the plan is to go to construction as soon as possible and have streets in this winter is the plan. And then through the construction, we'll fix what the mowers got back there probably when it was soft.
Like that on Chipley too.
Yeah, we left some ruts or whatever. That'll be cleaned up, and as the houses go in and it gets sodded, it's gonna have a good stable base. And it'll be maintained on a regular basis. It's, the mower size is gonna be much smaller too. As far as having a tractor back there running through, but.
I'm just, like, our neighborhood, if you guys had a plan for the water runoff in our neighborhood, but it didn't work not even 2 years later, there's water problems in our neighborhood, what's gonna be different with the new neighborhood? Like, there's like a river, I've got videos of just like a river running right through the middle of our neighbor's yard, because it goes, this side is higher than this side, and then it goes straight in the middle of their yard.
How do we get in contact with the city
Yeah, I think that's,
engineer?
we might have to talk with the city engineer.
How do we
Yeah.
get in contact with?
I can give you my,
card.
yeah.
Thank you.
Same thing, so I guess, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Any other public comment? Questions? Anybody online want to speak?
We do have people online,
Mhm.
but they are muted and not video.
Okay. All right, if there's nothing else, I'm gonna close the public hearing. And move to board comments and questions.
So there's David, you probably answered this, between lots 9 and 10. Is that a utility easement that goes between those two?
Hold on, I'm gonna have to zoom in.
Yeah, I had to zoom way in.
Oops.
Cause it goes
Might be
between,
might be where they have a water line.
goes between 9 and 10 and then goes to the
Yeah, Tim,
north.
this blue line,
2-inch water line, water main.
A 2-inch?
2-inch that will feed the property on the other side of the creek there.
Oh, okay.
Future stove.
Okay.
With the smaller footprint, what size homes are slated for that? What,
They'll be real similar to actually a lot of them probably the same plans as the ones that were already built in there.
okay,
Everything on the east side will be splits because of the fact that the lots are higher in the back than the front. Everything on the west side will be ranches or reverses, because the lots are lower in the back. We won't have any with 3-car garages like some of them in the other, first part of the subdivision had 3-car garages. Don't think we'll have any with 3-car garages, but everything else will probably be pretty close to the same plans as what was built in the first 4 phases.
okay.
Mike Mill is gonna build all of them, so.
So first issue, if we just take them, is the rezoning to RP1 from commercial. But question, dude, has this city engineer looked at all of this yet, or we're approving?
We have our city engineer review the preliminary plats.
Yeah, okay. Any other comments or
I
questions?
do have, so up along Cottonwood Creek Avenue, I know there was a lot of fill brought in and stored or whatever we want to call it. Is the road going to be that height all the way down through here?
No,
So some of that dirt that's currently being stored there will be used for the road bed or?
yes.
Okay.
We come off of Cottonwood Creek Avenue at like a 1.5% to get past the sidewalk crossing for ADA requirements.
Right.
And then we got a vertical curve that goes into like a 9.5%. Your guys' maximum is 10% street grade. And then we try to come down and pretty well match in close to the existing grade on the east side of the road. So we'll end up doing cuts on the east side where those uphill lots are, flatten them out a little bit, take that fill to cover the other half of the right of way on the west side and build out a little bit to the, not all the way out to the build lines, but part of the way out. And then that way that when they go in and they put in the foundations on the east side, they've got a place to use some of those spoils. Plus you create spoils when you put in your foundations on the west side also.
Yeah. Thank you. That's all I had.
I just would like to comment that I really like these sidewalks, especially this one sidewalk hitting the end of the cul-de-sac out to the other sidewalk. Just wanted, I'm hoping that makes the final plat. Big fan of that. I don't have anything else.
No, I think the rezoning makes sense for this project in that,
Yeah.
in
Okay.
that space.
All right, well, I would entertain a motion, we do them one at a time. So first would be the rezoning with concept plan.
I move that the Planning and Zoning Commission recommend the Board of Aldermen approve the rezoning to RP1 Low Density Residential Plan District with concept plan with the conditions recommended by staff.
I'll second.
Any comments or discussions? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Now we need a motion for the preliminary plat amendment.
I would move that the Planning and Zoning Commission approve the Cottonwood Creek amended preliminary plat with the conditions recommended by staff.
I'll second.
Any other comments or discussion on that? All right, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. And I think that takes us to old business, which there is none, and then the closures. Anything else for the good of the order? Well, I'd entertain another motion.
Finish with us, right, David?
Motion to
Yes.
adjourn.
Second.
Board meeting.
All in favor? Aye.
I missed the